Scale. I'm not gonna weigh it out like that, but I think that it does have some type of coverage. If you standing in a store by someone and they cough or they sneeze, if you're properly wearing your mask, I feel like you're not really breathing in those droplets.
So do you think that by recycling your own air and your own breath, why you got the mask? Because you know we breathe out carbon monoxide for the plants and everything. So if it's not getting out and we recycling, do you think it's damaging our lungs because we're not getting in the right oxygen?
I do. I would have to agree with that. I do. I mean, a lot of people have complaints today about wearing a mask because it's hard to breathe with them. I would have to say for myself, I'm sure Val, everybody else at work, you yourself, anyone that's working, you also have to go on that job with your mask on. So if you're doing a strenuous job and you lifting and you moving around, even just walking through the grocery store, hell, you losing your breath. So I can understand why people would feel like, damn, this is taking away my oxygen. It got to be damaging to the lungs. I understand that. But in the same token, you got to kind of weigh it out and say, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to go in here with the mask on and kind of get a little protection? I can't tell you percentage wise, but it helps. Or if I'm going to go in the store and just raw dog it through, you know what I'm saying? Raw dog it out. Am I going to go in there? I'm not going to have any protection at all. Somebody that's around me in close proximity may cough, sneeze. You don't know. So am I going to raw dog this situation, or am I going to try to do something at the minimum to try to help me so that I'll be safe and don't end up
for the
with
immediate
this virus?
danger.
Exactly. That's how I view it. That's just my opinion.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
cool.
That's I feel that.
True.
So I have one more. I have time for just one more question. So I think that question is going to be. No, I'm playing.
Thanks, Pokeman. He didn't shorten my interview. Look.
What advice would you give to parents with school-age children? I know most schools are out there doing mostly
Virtual
classes and what have you. So they're at home all day.
Okay.
So what advice do you have for parents with young children or school-age children?
That's a deep question right there. The advice that I would give to school-age parents, I'm sorry. The advice that I would give to parents with school-age children would be, I guess, have a schedule. You know what I'm saying? Try to work on a balance. School started back in September, and I would have to say that could have been one of the hardest things for me and my children. They're not used to it. Everyone is not self-motivated when it comes to getting on a computer and learning. You know what I'm saying? So that is alone. That's a mental thing already alone. You see what I'm saying? Because they have different times. Everybody's school is ran different. I can't say how theirs would be versus how mine is, but I would say just pretty much get a good schedule for your children and try to rock it out, the best way that you can. I mean, I don't know how. I hope that's a good answer, but a schedule to me, a schedule is efficient because with the schedule, you can get your kids up, have them ready to get on that computer and log in at a certain time, have it to where so they still eating their lunch. They not on the computer too damn long because that run people's eyes as well, just looking at the computer all damn day. And then they might get a little antsy, like shit, want to get up, stretch their legs. They feel like because they at home, I don't really have to do this. The motivation is gone. It's different from me getting up in the morning, getting them ready for school. We have breakfast or whatever, and then out the door, they go sit in the classroom. So it's a lot different. It's a lot different. So I don't know, guys.
I could imagine. I mean, you
A
at
schedule
home all
balance.
day.
Find your
especially
balance.
working from home now, and then the kids is at home all day. So,
Yeah, I would have to say find a balance. Keep a tight schedule.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
For kicking it with your girl, Danie.
All right.
I am going to turn the show back over to Pope. Let's get into some topics.
Come on back in.
What's the topic of the day, Pope?
Well, the topic of the day, we touched a little bit on it earlier, but we want to hear some of that pandemic. We want that pandemic to be, versed and talked about. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Talked about a lot because us in the community, I'm street. I'm from off the block, so I'm gonna give it to you from the block perspective. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who out here who been maneuvering through what's going on the street level. You know, we hear the politics and this on TV, but I'm on the ground level, so I can kick it to you on that level.
For sure.
So I'm gonna hit you with the pandemic. It's a lot of fear. It's a lot of fear about the pandemic, which is because the mainstream media is they letting us know this is dangerous and how dangerous it is. But how dangerous is it? How dangerous is it if people out here are still maneuvering around and they ain't had no mask, no nothing, this and that, and they ain't catching it? What do you think about that? You told it? This to you, Danny.
Okay. What's the question? How?
What do you think about people out here? They laying up here with no mask on, but they not catching, and they be out here maneuvering on the block every day. They got more people that they come in contact with. So I'm saying, is the danger and the fear escalated to a high level, or is it just?
No, you know what? Actually, I think that enough people don't take it seriously enough.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Because you can definitely be asymptomatic. And even if you have been out here ripping and running and strolling and doing whatever you gonna do and you haven't caught it yet, doesn't mean you won't catch it. Which means every other person that you come in contact with, you put them at risk, at higher risk of catching it also.
Okay.
So I think, people need to start wearing a mask. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like this. Ask yourself, is it really going to kill you to wear a mask? Even if it's just a small percentage that you could prevent yourself from catching it and somebody else, is it really going to hurt you?
Okay. Well, this to you, Val. What do you think about the fear factor as far as people disregarding the mask? Because like me, I disregard it. I really feel like my lungs is straight. If I got a cold or something, I stay home. But if not, I'm not putting on the mask unless I have to in some of these stores. What do you think about me? Am I an asshole?
I don't know.
You
You
an
might have
asshole.
a little A in the asshole going on here. I don't know.
You an asshole.
I
I
don't
go
know.
along with the majority. If everybody was on the same page, at least let's just try it. Like
Don't knock
if everybody was on the
try.
same page for a month, let's just see how it works. And then if it don't work, then hey, it's proven something ain't right. But at least stay on the same page.
I mean, you see,
when everybody on the same page, we turning the chapters together.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, so stay on the same page. Everybody gotta
Exactly.
assimilate into the system,
You
But what
see-
about if somebody out here, this to you, what if somebody out here be like, look, I don't check the signs. I did my research, and I know that this mask is not helping me. So I ain't gonna shit on y'all guys because y'all got masks on, but don't fuck with me neither. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have one on. I did the signs, and I feel like I'm hurting myself with the mask more on than without it, because I heard earlier that it messes up your gums and all that type of stuff because you're breathing in the same air. So I don't want my teeth and all that messed
Talking
up.
about the
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna say this about that. My opinion of it is this, folks. I feel where you're coming from. You don't want to wear the mask. That's your prerogative.
No, if I have to, I will.
I'll say this. I agree. The mask messes your skin up. You know what I'm saying? You are breathing in your air. The moisture in the skin. I mean, I know a lot of people have broken out from that.
Yeah.
I agree with Danny said. I agree with what Valerie said. You can be asymptomatic and don't even know it. When someone close to me caught COVID, it was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This shit is real. So,
Yeah, but what about they said the signs say that